Hello, how are you doing this fine Tuesday evening? Let's get in here and pray. All right. Thank you, God, for being Jehovah Nissi, the God of the banner. You place a hedge of protection in front of me, behind me, and on top of me. You keep me safe by any means necessary. Psalms 91, you place me underneath your mighty wing, and nothing shall by any means harm me. No evil will befall me, neither will any plague come by my dwelling. 1,000 may fall at my left-hand side, and 10,000 at my right, but it shall not come near me. No weapon formed against me will prosper. It will form, but I have the breakthrough formula from Jesus, stove, and arugula. Come on, spirit team. God ain't put no blocks on no one. He said, if you want to come to the table, come on and sit down. See, look at my spirit team talking to me. And I walk in and instead of fussing about what it looks like. Come on here now. God said, come on and sit at the table. Go ahead and grab your silverware and just have a good sit down. Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace, the peace that passes all understanding. Philippians 4, think on these things that are good and of a good report. And if I keep my mind stayed on you, you will keep me in perfect peace. No, it don't make sense, but it makes faith. And what I have faith in, I'm going to believe. And what I believe, I'm going to act on. And what I act on, I'm going to see happen in the spirit realm before I see happen in this realm. Okay, because God is good. We're going to always see it over there first because that's the realest realm. This realm been changed too many times, okay? Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of hosts. God is here, there. He's everywhere. Why? Because God is us and we are God. We are one. We are one mitochondria, okay? And God placed the all-spark in my heart before I even entered my mother's womb. Let's go over that. God told Jeremiah in chapter 1, verse 5, he said, I knew thee before you even entered your mother's womb. You hear me? So if God told Jeremiah that, just think about what he told us. Excuse me, confirmation bird. God is not a respecter of person. If he said to you, he gonna say it to me, and he gonna say it to everybody else. Because God don't change up his rules and regulations. God don't change the game plan in the middle of the game. The route may change just to keep you in safety, but God ain't changing it. He's changing it to keep you safe. And remember, God, there is no sex in the spirit realm, so God can be a woman or a man. It's whatever you prefer to say. Okay? So God is not a man or a woman. I just feel, you say what you want. If you say a woman, you're right. If I say a man, I'm right. Because at the end of the day, there's neither man nor woman in the spirit realm. Jesus told us that. Honey. And then God placed an allspark of himself in our heart. Let me tell you something. God is not an aspect of love. God is love. The thing is, it could be a foot. It could be 40 feet. It could be 400 feet. It could be 1,000 feet. It could be 2,000 feet. But see, the thing is, it's based on how we use it. Ephesians 3:20. God said he will do God said he will do more than we could ask or think. He will bless us more than we could ask or think. Ephesians 3:20. The thing is, how is it working in you? How is this love working in you is how you going to see it out here. That's how it works. He said God will do exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask or think according to how it works in you. Jehovah Elohim, the God of gods. We make all this stuff to put between us and God. God said, I don't have no problem with it because I gave you the idea for it. He said, but don't you want to come talk to the creator before you go talk to the creation? So when you sit down with the creation and you get ready to have a powwow, guess what? I've already given you a word of knowledge. So if you haven't received a confirmation of that in 2 months, it's time to get up from that table and go ahead and find another brook. Why? I have my incense burning. Why? Because God took Elijah to a brook. It dried up. God took Elijah to another brook. I don't remember Elijah asking nobody, was it okay for him to leave that brook? When God said, when it dry up, get up and leave. You don't need approval. And if you need approval, tell them to go talk to God. Because only a controlling person or somebody with narcissistic tendencies will tell you not to leave. And if you have any type of critical thinking, you say, wait a minute, that ain't got nothing to do with God. God just want a one-on-one relationship. If God took Elijah to this brook, that brook dried up, he took him to another brook. God will take care of you too. Just keep it moving. He just wants to have that one-on-one relationship with us. Okay, that's all God wants. When you get that one-on-one relationship, you don't need no outside voices. It's you and God. That's how it works. Remember when Jesus said, "There's coming a day you need not no man teach you"? Paul said the same thing. Jehovah El Shaddai, the Most High God. Your name is higher than any name that is on this earth and the universe. If it can be conjugated in a sentence and a punctuation put at the end of that sentence, God is higher than that. And then if I think of something, you think of something, we try to tell each other, guess what? It's going to be in sentences or a paragraph, which is sentences and punctuation. What are we going to do about that? Nothing, because God is bigger than that. God made the whole universe and then some. Jehovah Jireh, my provider. There is no lack. There's only provision. God is more than enough to supply all I need. Okay. Philippians 4:19. Go read it for yourself. I'm worthy because I exist, and I exist because I'm worthy. There's nothing that God will ever withhold from me. James 1, verse 3-5. Okay. See, God is my source, not the things on the outside of me. God will use people on this earth to bless me. See, wealth comes from the north, as above, so below. Not from the east, west, or the south. It will always be supplied supernaturally if I believe it. It's based on my frequency and my energy, which is key. If God is here and I'm over here and God said, "Come to me as you are," I get up and I change my perspective. Every time you get up and you go to somebody, you changing your perspective. Make sure that person is worth it. Jehovah Rapha, my healer. You heal my mind, my soul, my body, and my spirit. You heal so much of me. Man, I had a good workout this morning. I was like, we good. Like, we good. I stretched, I did, so I won't be on the morning meds. Jehovah Gamola, the God of the recompense. No getting even with people, no arguing with people. Why? Ain't no need. They know what they did, you know what they did. Just send all that negative energy up to the Creator, ask the Creator to cleanse and purify. Send that energy back to the sender, cleanse and purify. No blocking their path, no stopping their path. No matter what they do. Why? Because we got cause and effect, sowing and reaping, and corresponding action. Meaning, everything we say, do, or think is a seed. I live under the law of assumption that it's already worked out, and I don't have to stress about it. Everything doesn't require my response or my fight. I choose my battles properly, and I leave it in God's hands. I'm not going to be fussing and stressing out by something I cannot control. And so it will be, and it's going to be, and forevermore. Sometimes you just got to leave that in God's hands and say, okay. That's what you got to do and walk away. Yeah, walk away swiftly. Like them birds called the swifts. How they fly up there in the sky. They don't land. Those are bad birds. Look at the description below to see a few items just for you. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. God is good like that. You hear me? Let's find something right here. Page 102. Trust my voice and move in my timing. I know things have been tight lately, but I'm changing this situation for the best. Just trust, surrender, and move quickly. No more procrastinating. Come on here now. Come on here now. God is good. And His mercy endures forever. I receive it. Just like my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change, both of those books are shadow activity books. Why? Because everybody that had a shadow book, it had diagrams and stuff, but I said, God, I need stuff to play with. And God said, okay, well, make it. I said, well, say less. So what you get is you get a word of knowledge. Then you get an exercise. Some of these exercises are going to send you around the house to go find stuff. It's going to be so fun. It's one of those hunts. You got to go looking for stuff. And then you get a shadow question. Not so fun because it's going to cause you to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself some questions. Number 4, you're going to get a color page. God asked us to keep the color page between the age of 5 and 10. Why? Because most childhood wounding happens between the age of 5 and 10. By the age of 7, it is solidified. By the age of 10, it is really in your system. By the age of 21 and 25, you are now considered an adult. And now it is your responsibility to walk out of whatever you're carrying. Plus, between the age of 21 and 25, we think we know everything and nobody can tell us anything. You see what I'm saying? And then the 5th thing you get is you get 4 pages of drawing, sketching, doodling, writing, whatever you want to do. Because the closer you get to God, you're going to start having Stranger Things, X-Files, Twilight Zone, and Doctor Who moments to where you see it with your eyes, but then you look again, it's not there. And if you try to explain it to somebody that's not spiritual, they're not going to get it. And you're going to waste all your energy, 10 on the clock. You're going to waste all your energy trying to explain something spiritual to someone that doesn't understand spiritual things. And the Bible said, do not explain things to people that don't understand spiritual stuff, because you're really going to be giving your pearls to a swine, not calling nobody no pig. Just saying it is what it is. At the end of the day, you're going to be wasting your time trying to explain it to someone. Then for them to say, that's crazy. Yeah. You'd be frustrated. Don't forget about my other 2 books that are already on the New York Times bestseller list: Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield and Influence and Impact with Chris Voss. You can pick up those copies anywhere books are sold, okay? Because guess what? God don't care nothing about your background. God don't care nothing about that. He know all the hairs on your head. And if you bald headed, he know all the peach fuzz. And if you wear wigs, he know the wigs. If he knows everything that's going on about you. Okay. Notebooks and journals for all, coloring books that help in meditate and recalibrate the mind. You see the link of the podcast with Women's Leveling Up that was done in May. You see magazines I was in September, October, November, and December and January. I placed a link to my own personal bookstore. I'm excited about this venture. I have a lot of stuff on Amazon. It's a whole catalog over there. However, my special journals to help you fight the Votori is on mine. Okay, I had to keep them with me. Okay, there are some freebies there just for you. I added a link of 105 spiritual laws. Yes, there's 7 in the Kabbalah in the initiate book. However, I looked at another book and it's 12. And I said, God is not an author of confusion. Look, it is 105 spiritual laws. And there's a link down there to get all 105 spiritual laws. Understand this. We are no longer underneath the laws. We are under love and grace. When Jesus came, or how you would say Christos, the how we say the burden removing, yoke destroying power of God. Okay. So and you could say it was an archetype. 12 on the clock. You could say he was an archetype. You could say he was a prophet. You could say whatever you like, but they did a lot of stuff to prove he didn't exist. And he the only one they did it to. They ain't fuss about whether Buddha existed or Allah, nobody, just him. When you say his name, everything straighten up, don't it? People straighten up and they do, So it's mighty funny they say he didn't exist, but they took 54 books out of the Bible. So let's go on here. So, and they all the same. They talk about they all ascended masters. Every last one of them. It's just one did more work than the other. That's it. But everybody did their part. Everybody did their part. You see what I'm saying? So what happened was Jesus came and he broke it down. He gave us love and grace. He gave us the power to love the unlovable. What that mean? Ooh, I put up a boundary. Why you put up a boundary? Judas showed out on Jesus, right? Did you see Judas anymore? He wasn't in the store no more. Because he took himself out. Yeah, he took himself out, but was he in the story anymore? So once you find that Judas, you say, and they gone. Okay, and then love, let's break it down. The disciples asked Jesus, how many times do I forgive my brother? 7 times? Jesus said, 7 times 70. That's 490 times for the same indiscretion. Then Jesus said, this is how you pray the Lord's Prayer. Forgive me of my debts as I forgive my debtors. So let's break it down. So you put up a boundary, boop, and then you love the unlovable. First you love you. Father God, I just want to say, I didn't know I was wrong. I was following the path that I see all the adults in my family do. I've seen this for years. I've seen my grandma do it. I've seen my mama do it. I've seen this person do it, the auntie, the uncle. I just saw everybody doing it. I thought it was right. Now I find out it's wrong. I set myself in order and I forgive them. Why do I forgive them? If I don't forgive them, I'm not moving. And if I'm not moving, I'm stuck in utter darkness. I am in suffering. That means the scripture says, well, there we weeping and gnashing of teeth, meaning I am stuck in utter darkness. I can't see. And so the system comes and makes my life a living you know what. And so the minute that you forgive, you can move. And when you can move, you free. And you can keep going. But if you stuck, you in quicksand and cement, if you're not moving. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Honey, and then once you do that, then you get to the grace. Grace is God's willingness to get involved with human affairs if we allow it. Because God will reach down and grab you out of whatever you in as long as you give him full reign. See, if you like me, I said, God, if I'm down here on this earth and you put me in a secret mission and I be done forgot where I'm at and I'm in deep cover, you have the power to come and get me. You don't need my approval. God says, say less. I'm going to come and get you. You know why I'm going to come and get you? Because I don't put too much in you. I said, well, say less. Come on and get me. Just like we have the 10 Commandments. It's really 613 commandments. You want to see them all, get the Torah, the Tanakh, or the Kamash. You can order that wherever books are sold. I'm pretty sure they will take your money because they want to get your business. Honey, in this, God told the Israelites, there's no way possible you could keep 613 laws every day for the rest of your life without me. They said, yes, you can. Us and our children. I said, wait a minute. No, we need God. I'm a witness. We need God. Cause they stuff out here that we fighting and you mess around and you open up your spiritual eyes and see what it is. Oh, child, your heart gonna stop. Cause mine almost did. Honey, you be like, wait, I don't talk too quick. Where that Jesus fella at? Can you tell him to come on out here? Everybody, Buddha, Hecate, Christmas. Everybody come out here. I'm gonna need to talk to you real quick. Yeah, you gonna call everybody to the party. Yeah. You gonna call everybody because I see it. I said, wait a minute. Everybody come on out here. Everybody. I'm gonna need everybody help. Okay. I'm just saying, once these eyes see the truth, and that veil is removed, and you see the stuff that's causing the people to act the way they act, change forever. So then they did it again. They did it 5 more times. So then the king said, so who you want to release, Jesus or Barabbas? They said Barabbas. The king said, I'm washing my hands of this because Jesus ain't done nothing to y'all. They said, I know. Put it on us and our children. I said, wait. Did I just read that? Wait a minute. First of all, you're not going to put me in something that you done this too many times. I didn't ask to be in this. But see, the thing is, Jesus took care of it. But the thing is, on top of that, he gave us the believer's authority. But if somebody gave you the master key to a vault of $1 billion, but all of a sudden they hit you in the face with the Men in Black button, and now you forgot. They gave you the key. They gave you the key. And you don't put up the key, but now you don't forgot where you put the key. You have no more access to the money. That's what happened to us. There was nobody teaching it because they waited until the elders left and everybody was locked up in slavery. People don't forget. So they was telling the parts that they remember because they went and burnt the churches. They went and burnt down everything. And that's why I say certain things in the Bible are telling us in chronological order what they did. They're talking about they burnt down the shrines. Those weren't shrines. Those were the things of Ifa. Those were the things of Ubuntu. That's what they burnt to the ground. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Every black town you think about is underground. I just want you to use your critical thinking for a minute. Everything is underground or it's under the water. And then they saying they something out in the ocean. Ain't that what they sank the Titanic? There were more black people on that Titanic. They were trying to let you know. There were some very important black people on that thing. That's why at the last minute those people blacked out. They backed out. Oh, the Moors was on that boat. Mm-hmm. Everything that happens in life don't just happen. Just know that. Some things are orchestrated. So let's get on with the story. And so then the king, he washed his hands of that. And then the thing is, in 1861, it came back and they started having seances and rebelling against the Catholic Church. Because Lord Henry in 100 AD and 200 AD removed 54 books out of the Bible because they were too powerful and they connected people to the way. Jesus didn't come to do no religion. Jesus came to open up your mind so you could see the truth, so you could think for yourself and had a critical thinking. That's why they got rid of it. Anybody that brings critical thinking got to go. Remember that? Because see, we know everything, but we don't know anything. We know everything because everything is in spiritual places, Ephesians 3:1. But we get to pull it down. But as we pull it down, we got to let go. And it allows us to keep us from attachments as we go through each level of the lesson. Talk to me about Jesus, Thoth, and Ishu. Ishu is an Orisha connected to what? Ifa and Ubuntu. Wow. The things that we are connecting. The adjective and the 400 values PDF, you put those things together. And when you put them together, you change your whole Sims character to Jacob mode of the game, because that's what I did. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for the juicy updates and the upcoming events. Oh, you want to know about that. This is secret stuff. Look at the new app for school. Come on over and visit with me. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who for 2025, Influential Women of 2025, and Worldwide Women. God was bringing it to me, and I said, I'm worthy. I'm taking it. Thank you. And look what I received in 2017 for the work I was doing with my nonprofit. I was bringing women and teenage girls out of sex trafficking. I had so much help, y'all. Ooh, I had so much help. But all of a sudden, someone more popular than me decided to do the same work, and everybody walked away. Let me tell you something. When people want to walk away, you let them go. You don't hold on to nobody. Because eventually them same people going to jig you in the back. Let them go. All right. And then I was helping young girls that came out and said they were LGBTQAI and pregnant, and their families kicked them out. I said, we're in the wrong state for that. I'm bringing out too many girls every week that's getting caught up in this sex trafficking, and you throwing them out here. Not I, said the cat. I let them stay in the building that I was in, or I sent them over to the teen center, because where I was at was a lot of adult women. And then I was helping out women that was coming out of domestic violence, and I was taking the phone and giving them flip phones, and put them in a safe place. Put them in a safe place. Nobody knew where that was, and I wouldn't tell nobody, because I wouldn't put my life in danger. Okay. All right. We lost 2 women because even though I took the phones and they blocked everything out, they still found a way to go back. And there's nothing I can do about that. I can do my part and show you the water, and you could drink from the water, but once you decide to quit, it ain't nothing on me. And I don't judge nobody, because everybody's addicted to something. Excuse me, confirmation burp. People are addicted to cigarettes, and they coughing their lung up and still smoking. People are addicted to weed. People are addicted to working out all the time. People are addicted to going to the gym every day. So what? Because you could work out without going to the gym. I'm just saying, people are addicted to stuff. I don't judge nobody. Then I was helping others that had lost everything in house fires and floods. And then I was assisting others that and how I was assisting them is people was moving, and they was like, I know you got a nonprofit. And since you got a nonprofit, I'm leaving we gonna start over. I'm leaving everything. And I said, woo, well, let me take it and put it in the storage unit if that's what we're gonna do. And honey, sure enough, they started having all these crazy fires out of nowhere. And I had enough for 6 families. And I said, what you need? And they tell me, I said, I'm gonna take what you need. Then I would give them toiletry bags, and then give the women female toiletry bags, and give them the fingernail polish remover, and gave them $20 gift cards to go to Walmart, Target, whoever they were going to go to get some underoos. That's from the 70s and 80s, some underoos. Take it back. I've been going back in time today. And bras and stuff, because yes, the Red Cross was helping, but that's bureaucracy and red tape. You don't know how long that's going to take. I was just doing what I saw in my immediate neighborhood. Okay. And then I was helping, and then I helped this young lady. She reached out to me on social media because I said I wanted to help somebody for Thanksgiving. She reached out to me and said, I need some help. And I said, well, say less. I was looking for somebody. So I went and found out what she needed. Honey baked ham is my go-to. Okay. Went to Honey baked ham, got $150 worth of groceries, and delivered it. And then she told me about some other people that need some help. I put their name in a bowl, pulled them out, and the children got 2 gifts each. That was my budget. Went back to Honey baked ham, made sure they had no chemicals and everything in what I was giving, and then $150 worth of groceries. And then I sent 2 women to therapy for 3 to 6 months and gave them $150 or $250 worth of groceries. You would have to look on Refuge Women's Transition Center website to look, because I put all that stuff there. I put all the receipts and everything, what I did. Because I knew there was going to come a time when people going to want to help, and I needed to have things in order. Outside of that, I didn't put anything up there on social media like that, because I'm helping people, and everybody don't want their business out there like that. You see what I'm saying? So, honey, I'm just glad that God said, whatever you do in private, He'll reward you in public. And God is faithful, and I'm thankful for everything. Don't forget to look at the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company that I use along with all natural remedies for the assistance of the diagnosis I received in 2017 of breast cancer. I ain't take no cancer treatments. They said I had 6 months to live. I said, the devil is a lie. We ain't going out like that. If I go out, I'm going out with a bang. I'm not going out of there. They tell me we need to do immediate surgery. I said, say what they're not. And I started asking questions. And they started fumbling over their words. Not I, said the cat. Anytime somebody gaslighting you and say they gonna get a scalpel and cut you, you better ask out was, Let me tell you something. They started gaslighting you, said, no, I got this. So that's what I said. I said, I bind it up. They said, don't you see it? I said, what I'm not going to do is agree with what you're telling me, because if I agree with that, that's just how I'm gone like that. That's how most people are gone so quickly, because they agree with it. And then they start bemoaning it, and then they out. Let me tell you something. I told them, I said, I bind up every disease, every germ, every bacteria, every growth, every tumor, every parasite, and I send it back to the pit of hell. The hell is a frequency. I said, I send it back to the pit of hell. To return no more, and I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose the hand of God, and I take full responsibility for myself. I ate that food. Okay. And they said, what you doing? I said, I'm putting my order in, so when I come back with my testimony, and did, you know what happened. I went home, talked to God. God said, get that naturopathic doctor. And did, and pulled down everything that Dr. Sebi ever said about being alkaline. I sure did. And I showed it to my naturopathic doctor, because we was a team, and I showed it, and they said, that's great. But this in your system is 5 things on each side. It was 150 items on each side. I said, I could do without 5. We'll do it. They come this because of your blood type. This will turn into acid. And we need you as alkaline as possible, because you already have it in your body. I said, well, say less then. Honey, let me tell you what I was doing. I was living my life. Child, I went, my ancestors said, go out there, get that dandelion, get that morning glory. You can dry it up and, okay. And then that wild scallions, honey, it ain't nothing but onions in the backyard. And them onions in the backyard, our ancestors lived off that, child, because they was giving scraps. And now they are making multi-million-dollar restaurants right now on soul food. Honey, and then that poke salad like lettuce and cilantro, had a baby together, just serrated around the edges. Honey, I'm still here, and I'm so grateful. I put that on top of that spinach underneath of that jasmine rice, and that jasmine rice wilted it. But it still had that full chlorophyll in place. Child, the way my life was delivered and set free. And I put that zucchini squash and red onions. Those are cancer fighting agents right there. Okay, that was on the list, cancer fighting. And then I put red, orange, and yellow bell peppers. Sure did, and made sure it was still crunchy so it still had life. You don't want to take all the life out of it. And I was adding seafood. I was adding seafood for my omega-3 and my fingernails and everything, honey. And I was eating beets, like getting the beets that grow out of the ground. I was making my own beets. Honey, sure was. Say it wasn't, but I was. And I'm thankful that I'm still here. God is good, and His mercy endures forever. Woo! Glory be to God. Glory be to God. I thank you, Lord. Psalms 91, 1-6 NLT. Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Glory be to God. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my God, and my refuge, and is my place of safety, and is. He is my God. No shame in that, and I trust Him 100%. For He will rescue me from every trap. Did and still does, and protect me from every deadly disease. Did and still does. He will cover me with His feathers, and He will shelter me with His mighty wings. He is faithful to His promises. Let's talk about God's promises. God's promises are yes and amen every second day, every second of the day. Okay? But God will put you on a pause, because He said, you see that crossroads up the street? They setting up a plan for you. They are enticing you to come that way, because they have a plan so that they've been gossiping and everything, so they're going to take you out. And I said, not I said, okay, God said, that's right, so I'm going to take you this way. And I'm going to take you the long way, and see, while everybody else is going this way, they're going to get hit in the head. Jason going to hit them in the head. Okay, Jason going to hit them in the head, and they're going to be going crazy. Meanwhile, you're going to be going around this way, and they're going to look to me, why does she seem so at peace? Well, I'm getting hit too. It's just I chose to go God's way. And instead of the easy way, and when you go God's way instead of the easy way, God protects you. So they take, and the angels get you, so they take the blunt of most of it, even though you get hit with it, so you can see what's going on, so you can know what's going on. Child, going that way, he said, you're going to learn something, you're going to learn something new, you're going to learn things you ain't never learned before, you're going to be in frequency you ain't never seen before. He said, but if you stay focused, I got you. I said, well, say less. And every time I say less, I be like, really, dude, this is what we doing today. All right. My armor and my protection, sure enough, got me 100%. I'm not afraid of the terrors of the night or the bullets that fly at day. I do not dread a disease that stalks in darkness. Why? David told us in Psalm 23, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. My rod and staff will comfort me. Honey, my spine is shoulder to shoulder. Who knew? Who knew that was my cross? Jesus said, pick up your cross and follow me daily. Child, we got it in our body. We can't move without the cross. Jesus was good with them daggone parables. Now, he was good. He was good. Okay. That's why if you read it and you ain't reading it with your eyes open, you looking lost. Okay. Honey, let's break this down even deeper. And then you can't look at it for what it is. You have to look at it in a different way. It's almost like reading a magic book. It's almost like reading astrology and the planets when you read the Bible. You get a chance to separate and pay attention and find out what's going on. That's why I say get your concordance and your Bible dictionary, because you looking at it for what the words mean now. Them words meant something different back then, honey. We talking about close to 3,000 years ago. Close to 5,000 years ago. You know how them words done changed so much? Our words done changed so much since 2 years ago. So imagine. Honey, and it says, ooh, my cup runneth over. There's overflow and abundance in every area of my life. Every area. None missing, nothing broken. Okay. And then it says, surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Go to Isaiah 53. It says, God will go before me to set asunder to make the crooked places straight. And God is always my rear guide. Why is God always my rear guide? Being goodness and mercy following me all the days of my life. Why? Being, And then it says, and surely, what? And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. You know why? Because I am the house of the Lord. And because I am in the frequency of light. When I leave here, I'm in light. So we make a decision every day where we're going. We make those decisions. Your frequency. Know the disaster that strikes at midday. Not trying to be good and perfect. No, your frequency. God don't look at your acts that you do in front of people. Your frequency. I want to say thank you to all that view my videos, and to say thank you to all the subscribers for your energy that you share to come and listen to the messages. I really want to say thank you, and I truly appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I thank you so very much. Hand over heart. I am not society script. I am my own definition. I am not of this system, but a flame from God's source, the divine. I don't stress about what I can't physically fix. I let go of that attachment. Because if I can't fix it in 15 minutes, it's over. And I monitor the use of my own energy. Monitor the use of your own energy, because people are always looking to see if you know what's going on. Be like Ray Charles. Go read it. When I woke up this morning, it was different. There was a heaviness there, and I usually wake up praying in tongues and with gratefulness. Then Bella was extra, and I was like, what is going on? There were so many distractions and disruptions this morning. I said, wait a minute. And I said, stop, breathe, and reset. I had to stop for a second. I said, something's going on. Because usually when I get these many disruptions, God is trying to protect me from something. So let me slow it down. So I started slowing my day down. So I said, something is going to come out of this. Then I did my daily things, my meditation and everything, and the irritation was still there. But then all of a sudden, ideas started flowing out of nowhere and ready to go. But the flow wasn't ready to move the way I wanted it. Then I said, wait a minute, maybe we're not moving in the same way no more. Stop trying to control it. And I said, okay, we're going to just flow with the energy. So I said, don't force nothing. And eventually my day just fell into order. And then today my Bible reading was Ecclesiastes 6. Every action has a reaction, good or bad. The Quran verse today was like yesterday, 253, discussing messengers and divine will. What is the divine will for you? Have you sat still to find out what's going on? And basically both of them were saying, we don't know what's next, but work with who you say God is. God got so many names. Work with who you say God is and get it done. What's your frequency? Not what you do in front of people to name, like, ooh, and you get all them lights and everything. No. What's your frequency? At the end of the day, what is your frequency? That is what registers in the spirit realm. That means, what is your intention and your motive? Symptoms today, I was crying like a baby. Me and God had a moment and it caught me off guard. God has been doing a lot. If it allows me to see things differently. Child, when I say I was in here boo-hooing, just had a moment. It just came out of nowhere. And I was just like, I needed that today. The crown and third eye was like lit. And I was having small headaches on and off all day. It poured down most of the day, but it wasn't cold. So I was like, okay, I can deal with this. I realized if there are distractions and disruptions, it's there for a reason. The maintenance man was outside today playing the 80s music, and it took me back to my childhood. Old energy people came back in my energy, and I said, no, thank you. And I sent them with cleansing and purifying energy back to where they came from. I said, no, be your own hero. And God said, I told them not to come in your energy again. I got that. I said, okay. He said, I said not to come in your energy again. And I said, well, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I said, no. God is allowing me to find my proper weapons. Really, God is allowing you to find your proper weapons. Our proper weapons are joy. Joy is what you know. Happiness is something that is a feeling. But joy is a noun. It's what you know. Peace. Peace is nothing missing, nothing broken. And inner confidence and contentment. That confidence that you know, even though it may not feel good right now, no matter what is going on, it's going to be all right. Get your weapons up. Because when you always got joy in your heart, people that ain't got them, they get angry real quick. And that's why you just separate. You let them have their little hissy fit right there. What we do with children when they want to act out. Everyone gets the opportunity to do their own work and see things in their own time. And it's hard when you love folks, but in their own time. And okay, keep going. They get the opportunity to decide just like you did. I know you care for them. I know you do. But it's separation time. What are they showing you? Are you really paying attention? Some want to connect only when they feel you growing. Let them go to learn their own lessons. They will hold you down from moving forward. Just let go. It'll be okay. God has you and them. Trust that. Everyone must work out their own salvation with fear and trembling. Trusting God. Don't carry somebody else's burdens in their battle. Read Philippians 2:12 for yourself. You see what I'm talking about. Save yourself and keep going. Otherwise, you're going to be resentful that you stay behind for somebody and they never change. Because some people ain't going to never change. That's their thing. But see, you don't know that because you love them. See, James 1:19-21 in NLT. Don't allow anyone to take your power or your energy, because some people just ain't going to change. They're going to try to take your power or your energy. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. We must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger doesn't produce the righteousness God desires, so get rid of all of that negative thinking and humbly accept the word that God has planted in your hearts. For it has the power to save your souls. It does. Oh, it does. Man. Verses like the Quran 17:53 and 4:148 highlight the importance of speaking kindly, avoiding slander and gossip, and speaking the truth. 2:254 emphasizes that it's not for the creation that is under Allah to question Allah's decisions, because Allah knows better. And it requires the believers to surrender to Allah's will. Not the man or the person who's preaching or giving you the message. The spirit realm. See, we get that twisted and we start obeying a person. Not the person. They don't have the power. They are a human just like you. You are looking behind into the spirit realm. That's how we got caught up in this religion. Looking at the person. Don't look at that person. The person is just being used. Look behind the person. What do you really see? Which is the message of faith of surrender to divine authority. But not to that. It says divine authority. That person is a person. That ain't divine authority. Don't get it twisted. Do you know who you really are? It's time that we get into our studies, whatever we are in. Pray, meditate, and find out who we really are. And be so secure that when things come to steal your joy, you bounce back quicker. Because see, that's how we got it. Quit tripping with religion. It gives us all these rules and regulations. God never said that. God don't have all these rules and regulations. He just said, don't hurt yourself, don't hurt nobody else, and stay focused on me. That's it. That's the rules. I'm still saying, because it's my birthright, my spiritual birthright, and my blood birthright. I'm worthy of love. I'm so worthy. You know you're worthy too. I'm worthy of a life I love, and if I don't love it, I can change it at any time. I can change my life whenever I want. That's why you got to Adjective in the 400 values. Change your life in seconds. I'm worthy of a rounded, wealthy life. That means abundance in all levels of the life. Nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing stranded, anything. Whew, that's my birthright. I'm worthy of the dream that is in my heart. Right here. This dream right here. God said, I put my dream in you. That's our covenant. That's why I won't let you rest. Honey, I released some timelines today and I said, you know what? There was a time when I couldn't resist you, but now, knowing what I know now, there's no going back. Honey, let me say, I said I release all timelines that's no longer for me. I have no animosity, I have no anger, I have no bitterness, I have no wrath. I don't hold you in contempt. You know why I don't hold you in contempt? You did the best you could. And then you ran. You did the best you could. I don't have no confirmation burp. I don't have no anger with you. You did what you could, but you never took the opportunity to learn some more. We're in the opportunity right now of AI. You could Google anything, but you didn't take the opportunity to learn anymore because you didn't have that bandwidth. And I'm not mad at you. You do you. Just know, as you doing you, I'm not going to be around. We are Abraham and Lot. We are Abraham and Lot. You go that way, I'm going to go this way. Amos said, two can only walk together if we agree. And it don't matter if we blood. It's even better if we blood, because if we are blood and you are not acting right, honey, only thing I owe you on this earth is love. That's it. And that's what I'm sending to you. I pray you find what you're looking for. I really do. I really, truly do. Because it wasn't me, because just not too long ago you were trying to take me out. Oh, man, my goodness. Ooh, that's why God say, remember, he said, don't hold wrath in your heart, but be wise as serpents and gentle as a dove. Because a serpent is wise enough to say, pay attention to what's going on, but it's gentle enough to say, don't hold on to that. That's why that was a parable. Enjoy your life. You cut from the team, partner. I release timelines that require me to shrink. I won't be quiet so you can shine. The devil is a lie. I have a mind of my own, and I'm going to use it, and I'm going to smile. Smile. Sarah. I forgot the name of the artist. I'm not rushing or placing pressure on myself. I'm just open for clear communication and wisdom on my next move and stillness. When you get still, the wisdom that shows up is just, wow. I walk forward lighter, clearer, and deeply supported. I am never alone. I have my ancestors, angels, and God. It is a threefold cord. It's not easily broken. I'm so secure in knowing if I'm walking by myself, it won't be long. And guess what? I'm never truly alone. Why? Because my ancestors come out the bushes Even on my own blood, child, they come out that bush and tell me, oh, I remember what you did. And I ain't got nothing to do with it because I'm over here tending to my business, walking in love. The angels always bring me something amazing that causes my heart to light up. Honey, they just love me and I'm so thankful. Have y'all ever seen a bird drying their wings after it rained? That was so wild to me today. I'm aware enough to pause, breathe, and sit still for the next move, or just know that I am loved in every way that love can show itself. Love has 101 million ways. Are you able to receive it? Cause child, I had open arms today. I was just like this. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm just letting it go. I'm just letting it go. People go out of their way to do me good because of the favor of God on my life. Rules, laws, regulations, and any red tape is removed from me. It is said we don't even usually do this. They just can't even help it, and I can't either. But if God say, yo, if my intuition say, if my ancestors say, I wish you would get up and go over there, I'm done. My hands is up. Okay. I have miracles every day and uncommon blessings find me without me even searching for them. They just fall upon me because I get a line. Let me tell you something. You start getting a line what God asked you to do, and you go on that line route, God be like, he start throwing stuff at you. Like, I ain't asked for that tonight. That's that day I told you I was going to give you something and you didn't get nothing. You left empty handed. That's just for that to hold you over. I'm like, thank you. I don't consider any energy control. I'm grounded, safe, and fully in control of myself. Untouchable and fully sovereign in myself. All cords are removed from me. Cut, cut, snip, snip, burn, burn. And I sever every connection. Remember this, when God repeats things, it's for a reason. I'm worthy of my dreams and everything my heart desires. Because if it's in here, it's coming to pass. Pay attention to those repeats. Especially if it's repeated more than 3 times. Pay attention. I allow clear thinking to find me without fighting for it. I don't have to fight with you. I don't have to compete with you. I don't have to take what's yours because mine is tailor-made just for me. I'm worthy of seeing all my dreams come true while seeing the light in darkness in any moment. I can look at it from a different perspective and change my life in seconds. I saw this somewhere and I said, okay, that's mine because I like that. All things come to me in perfect mature timing for the highest outcome and for the good of all. Because if I win, you win. If you win, I win. Because we're going to share what we can. The rest is going into the journals. Child, have y'all dreams been off the chain? My dream was off the chain today. Money comes back to me multiplied on every dollar that was spent. Double, triple, quadruple, 100-fold on every dime that was spent. And everything that I didn't know that left is coming back. I'm willing to open space for things I truly want by being gentle with myself. I'm intentional with love for myself. I'm so intentional. Today I was just loving on me and saying, just rest. Woo! But I was so jittery. I'm like, why am I so jittery? I said, girl, just get up. I tried to lay down, but I got so jittery. I said, I don't know what's going on, God, but let's just go. I saw this on Google, and I was like, added sauce. Add some seed. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, I remove all energy that doesn't belong to me from my energy field, and I send it back to the rightful owner, cleansed and purified, no matter where we originally met, universe, world, timeline, dimension, realm, space dust, space rock, whatever we were. And I sever the cord of connection. The lessons have been learned, and I release you to find your own way. I'm good. I call all my energy fragments back to me. I'm like Magneto. I'm a magnet for my stuff. I am free. I am free. I am free. I now release all traumas and patterns and anything from my ancestors that's not in alignment with my highest good across all timelines, dimensions, realms. I am free, and everything I left behind is mine. I am free. I am free. I am free. Come on here. I sit in peace, but I trust the process, and I do not rush the process. Child, can we sit when it get quiet? Because it be uncomfortable when it get quiet. Because you like, oh. I'm doing speaking engagements and podcasts that bring transformation. The signature topic. Helping visionaries and dreamers to reconnect, reinvent, and walk through the rebirth process. Rise with confidence. to get them to ground their dreams, to see it come to pass in this realm and out of the spirit and imagination realm. I have courses and books that teach individuals how to return to themselves and quiet the noise on the inside and live boldly on their own terms. I'm holding space right now for people who would like to quit repeating the cycles they can't fully explain. Also, I'm tackling sacred cows of religion and how we think the same, but the labels have us controlled in fear. We're opening every sacred door and nothing is off limits to be totally free, step by step. Write me in the comments if you would like to join. I'll be doing a webinar soon. Hi, my name is RenettaCheston, the owner and founder of Life Success Results LLC, Soul Igniter, Trauma Overcomer, Holistic Spiritual Strategist. I work with the whole being for my level of training and education, mind, spirit, soul, and body. Bachelor's and master's degree in healthcare to understand and comprehend mental and public health. Because you have a public health problem, you got a mental health problem, vice versa. Massage therapy, Reiki, and sound healing. Holistic practitioner, where we pull out all the impurities from the rooter to the tutor. Human design practitioner, we look at the beginning to get your purpose, then we come back to pull out all that generational baggage, step by step. When I was given the task of having uncomfortable conversations with others, I knew then that my path was going to be different. And probably will be a little standoffish until others have done some of their work. But I didn't let that stop me. I just started working with myself. I asked myself uncomfortable questions every day, like I did today, like what's going on, to get out of old patterns. I do the work every day, and it's not always pretty or easy. But I wake up to confront the areas in me, in love, that need a facelift so I could go forward. What will you do? Are you doing the work on the outside, but on the inside you are kind of decaying? What are you afraid of losing? Is it once you see colonialism and imperialism has played everyone, you won't know what to do if you're not fighting anymore? How about we find ways to have conversations that cause a pause, to see life differently in all areas of life? This will cause us to quit blaming someone else for our problems and see where we might have truly missed it. We can only meet people where we have fully been ourselves. Okay? Remember that next time you say you want a real relationship that requires you to pull off the mask, take off the representative, and stand there firmly being yourself, even if you're giggling or a little afraid. We have so many adults who were never taught how to feel safe. So they seek safety and validation on the outside of them because of a plethora of challenges that occurred in childhood processes. Okay, so I ask you, what emotion from your childhood pushed you in a corner and you made a bunch of vows? I hate him, I hate her, I hate them, they abandoned me, they didn't love me, they never gave me love, they never did this. They did the best they could because they didn't get it. And I'm not giving no excuses because we didn't get it. But guess what we did? We went and got the training, at least I did. I went and got some training. When I found out I was pregnant with my daughter back in the day, I was in the military. I went to every training that they had. Every training that they had because I was like, I just don't want to be that person. And I made a vow and I had to go back and renounce that vow. I am not my mother. I renounced that childhood wounding. I renounced that mother wound. I renounced that father wound. I'm trying to be better than them. I only need to be me. I don't need to be them. I don't have to be them. I have my own priorities in my life. But the more I'm thinking about what they did, I will become them. See what I'm saying? See, the vows are playing out on the big stage. The vows is playing out, you know, that racism, that controlism, that totalitarianism, that colonialism, that imperialism, all that narcissism, all of that is playing out on the big stage. And when we quit trying to control each other, it will stop. But what we see in the White House is a mirror for the rest of the world. This is what we putting out, United States. You mad at him, but look at the person in the mirror. Who are you controlling? Not trying to put it in your face, but at the same time are. While we get to protest and speak our minds, are we helping that little girl and that little boy on the inside of us heal, or are we trying to control everything on the outside of us? Don't do that around me. I don't like that. Okay, if you don't like that, how about you get up and move? Why everybody got to work around you and walk on eggshells? Not I said the cat. That's your true shadow. I'm being commissioned to aid in the process by sharing how I overcame everything meant to keep me from coming into my true identity. I had to believe in myself and God. See, God is on the inside of me, but I had to find me before I could find God, because he was boarded up behind them doors. I couldn't see God. So I was like, why is that bothering me? Why is that triggering me? Why is that word making me feel like that? Yeah, I could put you in the Facebook. What good is that? It ain't gonna fix nothing, because she could come back to mine and do the same thing, because she ain't get enough. Because she used to her husband doing that. Oops. Didn't mean for that to come out. We're taught he's on the outside of us, but God is on the inside of us, waiting to be tagged into our battles. 2 Corinthians 10 and Ephesians 6 says, we're fighting principalities, rulers of the darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places. This is when negative thinking has gone on for so long that it's a norm in society. Like racism is just like apple pie in America. Oh, it is old as apple pie. Because it's engrafted into the Constitution. Because in 1776, that thing they grafted the Constitution, that was stolen. On stolen land. How can you come on stolen land and say it's yours? You just got here in 1492. And the whole time you came here, the only thing you did was leave a carnage of bodies. Have you noticed that's all y'all do? Is leave a carnage of bodies? This is what every ascended master had to deal with. You know what Jesus told him? He said, you brood of vipers. You don't want to go in and you don't want nobody else to go in. And then he called them a brood of vipers again. He said, your traditions are making the word of God of no effect. That's why you seeing that some churches ain't got no power. You know why? Because they in there with traditions. They in there playing around. And you about to see it too. Oh, it's about to be synced. Oh, it's about to be synced. You know why it's about to be synced? I done got real countrified with this. But it's about to be synced real good. I mean, real good. You finna see it with clear eyes. Clear eyes. Whose mindsets of us complain but don't want to do the work. Or don't even know how to do the work. And it causes a dip in morale that most can't get out because it's ancestral. You know why it's about to be seen? Because God is about to show they slip. You know when the older women used to say your slip is showing? It's about to show. So to get out, it requires one to get uncomfortable get past the plateau of complacency or complicitness. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to just be quiet over here. It's time to choose a side, boo-boo. Or this is how we've always done it. Because guess what? You've already chosen a side because a split is already happening. Don't you looking around? When are we going to respect each other? Yes, we know the FBAs was here first. We also know that everybody's life is important. I also know that nobody got outraged with all these black and brown bodies that were shot until Miss Good was shot. That's when it woke up the Caucasian community. Because don't nobody matter but y'all. Then when Adams got shot, that sent the world in a tailspin. So what does that mean? Fight for your dream while hurting none. Why can't everybody have their dream? Why you the only one that can have your dream? And everybody else got to sit down. Come on now. Come on now. Why black women the most hated? You say black men, black women. Most educated, but I don't understand. Probably because we got the Eve gene. I'll leave it there. We've learned a lot in the last few weeks with the stuff we've seen that happen in this country. But even though we learned a lot, have we looking at ourselves? All of us, don't matter what the color of your skin is. Either your ancestors divvied it out or you've received it. Bad Bunny put it right in your face for the Super Bowl to show you how everything started. Let's not get it twisted. Or how when they had a hurricane, that we had somebody to go over there and start throwing shirts at people when they ain't got nowhere to stay. Their house is gone, and you throwing shirts like you at a game. But then again, I say this, I say again. That is happening because we have disconnected from our true source. We have disconnected from God, whatever you call God, Allah, Buddha, whatever you call God. God got a lot of names, Hecate, whatever. We have disconnected from the source. If you say God is your source or whoever your source, reconnect and loose the control realm. Do you know? Do what is right for you. No one lives your life with you. And don't nobody have to do it like you. We're all different. We got different fingerprints. You see this? My fingerprint different than anybody on this world. Be sovereign, not controlled. Think for yourself. And don't come over here telling me what I need to do. Because what you need to do and I need to do is two different things. We got a different path. And if you protect those that can't or don't know how to protect themselves, do so. Bring your dream to life no matter what you see in front of you. May the force be with you as you go in the power of God as you go. And may the power of God be with you in your heart as you move. Do not tell somebody, well, this is what you need to be. No, they don't. No, they don't. They need to be the color they are. Listen to the voice of whoever God they listening to and move forward. They don't need to listen to you. That's what got us in this mess before. That's all I'm saying. There are some freebies on the link for my for the podcast for the Women 70 Up that was done in May. And then there are also some magazines I was covered in September, October, December, and January. Look at the description below to find the things that truly light you up and leave everything else behind. I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Remember, I placed a link to my own personal bookstore as well. Okay? My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. Okay. Let's find out a little bit. Page 86. Be still and know that I ain't who I am. Woo! Don't be tossed forward and backward by what others say. Whose report are you going to believe? We shall believe the report of the Lord. Choose this day and follow that voice. The scripture says, choose this day who you going to serve. And you choosing it every day you wake up. You choosing what you're going to choose. And you're saying with your mouth something, but your frequency is saying something else. That's all I'm saying. And don't forget about my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Both of those are shadow activity books. Okay. I said, God, nobody is showing the book like I need. I need to touch it and play with it. God said, well, make it. I said, well, say less then. So you get a word of knowledge. Then you get exercise. Some of the stuff you could be running around the house looking for. You could be like on the hunt looking for stuff. It could be so fun. And then you get a shadow question. Not so fun because you could be looking in the mirror of yourself. And then you get a color page. Fun. Back to fun. And God asked him to keep the color page between the age of 5 and 10 because most childhood wounding happens between the age of 5 and 10 because you could protect yourself and the people that were supposed to protect you didn't know how to protect you because nobody protected them. Okay? Yes, we know they were adults. We became adults and we learned. They didn't have a bandwidth. So don't hold them in. Okay? Thank you, Spirit Team. Don't hold them in jail for that. Okay? Just let them go. You ain't got to deal with them. Just let them go. Okay. And because by the age of 7, it's solidified. By the age of 10, it is in the system. By the age of 21 and 25, it is now your responsibility to walk out. Plus, between the age of 21 and 25, we think we know everything. Can't nobody tell us nothing. So we need to hit the wall a few times before we listen. All right. Jesse is what it is. I've been there. And then you get 4 pages. There's 22 chapters per book. You get 4 pages of drawing, sketching, doodling, whatever you want to do. Because the closer you get to God or whoever you call God, you're going to start having those Stranger Things, those X-Files, those Doctor Who, or those Twilight Zone moments to where you see stuff. You have documentation of what you see. You saving it and you putting it in your scrapbook and in your journal book. And you're like, I know. But that is not what's going on. And if you try to explain it to somebody that's not spiritual, they're not going to get it. But people that's spiritual will understand. They will totally understand. And then don't forget about my other 2 books. It's already on the New York Times bestseller list. Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield and Influence and Impact with Chris Voss. It don't matter your background. God don't care nothing about your background. God know everything about you, the hairs on your head. And if you ain't got no hair on your head, God know your peach fuzz. And if you wearing wigs and you wearing all this stuff, God know that too. God ain't surprised about nothing. He know how you got here. He know who you are. Okay? He keeps up with his. Notebooks and journals for all. Coloring books that help and meditate and recalibrate the mind. God keeps up with his even though we forget. I'm excited about this venture. You know why? Because I have a lot of stuff on Amazon. Man, I got a whole catalog. Just type on my name, RenettaCheston. But I got my special journals on how to fight the Rotori on mine. Okay? Don't forget about the link of 105 spiritual laws. Yes, we know that we are no longer under the law. We're under love and grace. However, it's nice to know them. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for the juicy updates and the upcoming events. Don't forget about the Adjective and the 400 PDF. Put them together. Change your whole Sims character. This Jacob promoter game because it ain't nothing but a hologram. You can change everything about yourself. Okay, this is a Sims game, honey. Change everything about you. Told you Kanye West was right. Look at the new school link and come and visit. Come and visit me sometime. I would love it. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who for 2025, Influential Women for 2025, Worldwide Women. God was busy, and I was like, I receive it all, because I'm worthy. Okay, this is what I received in 2017. Okay, for the work I was doing with my nonprofit. Okay, I was helping bringing women and teenage girls out of sex trafficking, all right? I had a lot of help, but then all of a sudden my help went to go help somebody else that had a bigger name. And I said, cool, no worries, no worries. Let me tell you something. When people want to leave, anything that want to leave your life, let it. Because if you don't, it'll jug you in the back. Like you sitting up in a jail cell and you getting jugged by a sharpened toothbrush. Ain't nobody got time for that. Just let stuff go. Let it go. It's going to hurt you. All right. And I was helping teenage girls that were, came out and said they were LGBTQAI, or the ones that came out and said they were pregnant and their family kicked them out. I was like, we're in the wrong state for that. I'm taking out girls every day out of the sex industry, and you throwing them back out here. The devil is a lie. I said, so I took them and put them in the building I was in, or if I didn't have any room, I sent them over there to the teen center so they could get their therapy, their counseling, everything that they needed all under one roof. And then I was helping domestic violence victims of women. However, we lost 2. We did everything in our power to make sure they were safe, but they still know how to get back there, okay? And they went back more than once, and we ended up having, unfortunately, and I don't judge nobody because everybody's addicted to something. Some people smoke cigarettes and they lung about to pass out and they still smoking. Some people smoke weed and they hurting and they still smoking. Some people are going to gym every day. Some people work out every day. They addicted to working out. They can't stop working out. They work out 2-3 times a day. We don't say none of them. People are addicted to stuff. I don't judge people. And then I was helping people that lost everything in the house fires and floods because people knew I had a nonprofit. They was always giving me free stuff. People would leave the state and they would just leave me couches, their whole house. And I would put it in the storage room. Put it in the storage. Because I was like, this is going to help somebody. I'm so excited. And I would just be so excited, like, God, I thank you. I needed some stuff. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I got the stuff, I would have enough for 6 families. And as soon as that was over, I would get enough more for 6 more families. Because as soon as everything was gone, God would send it back. I was like, oh, I love it. And I was just helping so many people. And it just felt good because I saw a hole inside the community. And I was giving them toiletries and then giving the women their toiletries that come every month. And then I was giving them the fingernail polish and the fingernail polish removed for when they came down out the shop so they could have something that feel good about themselves because I know what it feels like to be homeless. Then I also gave them $20 gift cards so they could go to Walmart, Target, whatever they needed to go get their underwear and everything. Yes, the Red Cross was helping. Yes, but that's bureaucracy. We don't know how long that's going to take. They need underwear tonight. They need bras. We can't be going around like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the simple things that we don't think about. We're like, oh, they need help. The Red Cross got them. What you forgetting, that's bureaucracy. That's red tape. It's going to take a minute. Honey, I was like, let's fix the need right now. Honey, then I was this young lady saw that I reached out and said I wanted to assist at least 2 families for Thanksgiving. She reached out to the inbox. She said, I need some help. And I said, well, say less. I'm glad. Because I reached out and said I wanted to help somebody. So then, I found out what she needed. I went to honey baked ham. That's my budget because I was working alone. So I went to honey baked ham. Child, even my board of directors left, child. I said, that's fine. If it's just me and God, it's just me and God. God gave me the mission. I'm gonna keep going. It's my mission and my ministry, so I'm gonna just keep going. So then I went to honey baked ham, got her what she needed, and I kept the receipts. Okay, kept the receipts. Sure did. You see it all on my website, and then gave them $150 worth of groceries. Then, after her, she told me about some people that was getting ready to get laid off on the job, and I put their names in a bucket, pulled out their tickets, and found out that their family had special needs, made sure they got 2 gifts. I had to get on a budget. I had to go with my budget went. I just took off the thing, but it was my budget, because they, and I went to honey baked ham, my budget, and then I also gave them $150 worth of groceries. So while they looking for another job, they don't have to be concerned. And then I helped 2 women to go through therapy for 3 to 6 months. And then I gave them $250 or $150. You got to look on the website, Refuge Women's Transition Center. And I was doing this alone. And I said, God, if I had help, man, what would I be? I'd be taking over the world. I'd be in here like Ren and Stimpy. Honey, God is good and his mercy endures forever. God said he'll reward you for everything that you do in private that nobody see. Okay. All right. He said without fanfare. Okay, you don't need all that. God is faithful. I'm thankful for everything. Don't forget to look at the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company I use with all natural remedies. Okay. In 2017, I was given a diagnosis of breast cancer, and they told me I had 6 months to live. I said, the devil, this lie, I ain't going nowhere. They said, don't you see it? I said, I see it. They said, I said, I see it. And they said, so you got 6 months. I said, the devil, this lie, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to stay right here. They said, what? I said, I ain't going nowhere. I said, I'm the healer, protecting my health from sickness and disease. And they said, ma'am, and I said, let me tell you something. If I agree with that, I am gone. Plus, God told me if I took anything in that office, I was gone in a week. Ain't nobody got time for that. I like looking at myself in the mirror. It may be vain, but I love some me. So, honey, I told him, I said, I bind up every disease, every germ, every bacteria, every growth, every tumor, every parasite, and I send it back to the pit of hell, because hell ain't nothing but a frequency. And I said, and I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose the hand of God. Child, and I said, I take responsibility. I ate that food. That's on me. And they said, what you doing? I said, I'm putting my order in, so when I come back with my testimony, you know what happened. And did. Went home, talked to God. God said, get that naturopathic doctor, did so, put on everything that doctor said about being alkaline, and did. And I showed it to my naturopathic doctor, who's a real team now. So, and she was like, okay, we need to take off 5 things on each side of this. I said, well, say less. And then, after that, I used that to go to the grocery store and to the farmer's market. Then, my ancestor said, go out and get that dandelion, get that morning glory. Okay, don't forget now. And that wild scanes. Them wild scanes, our ancestors live off that. If they can live off that, why can't I? Child, I went out there and got them things cleaned up. And then the post salad like lettuce and cilantro had a baby together and it's ready around the edges. You seen the video of it. Honey, say I wouldn't live my best life. I put that underneath that jasmine rice wilted that with them spinach. Put that chlorophyll in my body with chlorophyll ain't nothing but melanin, child. Sure did. Child, say it ain't so, but it is. And I put seafood on top for my omega-3 oils because you need that for your nails and everything else. And I put the beets in there for my iron and honey, I was doing everything I could to make sure I was getting my vitamin D, C, and everything else. Okay, instead of just taking the vitamins all the time. It's okay to take the vitamins, but it's also all right to eat your food with it, okay? And I had started growing my own garden, too. Say it ain't so, but it was. Honey, let me tell you something. I thank God that I am still here. Honey, God, I thank you that I'm still here. I bless your name every day, because I could have been gone. And Deidre hadn't said he could have been... I could have been dead and sleeping in my grave. What? But I'm still here. If you hear the noise, they out there doing some construction. It's okay. So, honey, let me tell you, I thank the Lord that I'm still here. I thank you that I'm listening. I thank you for your hugs. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your peace. I even thank you for your, I even thank the Lord for the butt whooping. Let me tell you why I thank you for the butt whooping. Because he didn't give me over to a reprobate mind to sit in that corner by myself, sucking on my thumb, and them spirits whooping my tail. You see what I'm saying? Look at my spirit team. I could have been in that corner by myself trying to figure it out. Child, let me tell you something. They said we were disenfranchised And we the minority. No, we not. No, we're not. They are, and they know it. Now, let me tell you something. God said, okay, they said, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. So we did, and then they got mad, so they came over there and took everything. Cause that's what they do. They like little children. They get mad when you do better than them after they take everything from you. You don't remember? Look at Oklahoma. They burnt everything down. They took everything, but then the people decided, well, oh, we don't need you. And they heard them over there having a good time and burnt everything down. What kind of anger you got? You got anger issues. Okay, you really got a devil up in you to be that man. Child, them entities be jumping on you, don't they? Child, let me tell you something. Then when they said pull yourself up by your bootstraps, then they came over there and took our bootstraps. We still kept going to school with no shoes on. See any videos of them, no shoes. They said, wait a minute, we took everything. You still going? Yeah, why you thought I was going to stop? God said the next time go over there and get that bamboo, make some shoes, and then when you take out that venison next time, use the hide for some shoes. We said, say less. Honey, then they said, wait a minute, how you still going? Because we playing spades, Uno, and something with the worst cards, but God is in our ears. I want to say thank you for y'all being here, because y'all could have been anywhere in the world. I just truly want to say thank you for y'all loving on me and keeping me in y'all prayers, because I always pray for my subscribers, okay? I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you as you go on your way. I pray that you stay on your path, that you hear God's voice and the voice of the enemy you do not hear. I pray that you stand firm in what you believe and don't jump off of it. I love you in the love of the Lord. Have a great evening. Good night. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, love you in the love of the Lord. Good night.